I think it's also useful to focus at times. It can be a focus for 5 days. It can be a focus for 2 weeks. Hi there, Steve Kaufman here. And today I want to talk about focus. Remember, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. If you follow me on a podcast service, please leave a review. I do appreciate it. So, my last video, I spoke of the importance of variety. The brain likes new things. I've often mentioned, the brain likes repetition, but the brain likes novelty. And so I talked about varying the nature of your activity, varying, the kind of content you're dealing with in terms of subject matter, in terms of difficulty level. Variety is good. However, it is also important to focus at times. So right now, for the last, I would say, 4 or 5 days, I've been focusing on this tremendous content that my tutor, Sarah from Iran, has sent me for Persian. It's a podcast called epitomybooks.ir. It's in Persian, of course. And he has a 5-part series, each one about 12 to 15 minutes long, about the Iranian Revolution, the Islamic Revolution, Irani, what is it? I can't remember what he calls it. But so for the last, and what I do is this, and it's been very, very effective in terms of upgrading my Iranian or my Persian. And tomorrow I have a lesson with Sarah, and we're going to talk about the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, based on all the reading and listening that I've been doing. And so I am focusing, but I'm not going to focus. It's not like you have a textbook at school and you only ever read the one textbook. I'm doing this for a week or two, and then I'll go on to something else. But I just thought I would review with you, for those of you who are interested, how I go about doing this. So I study in sentence mode because it is just easier for me to digest the Persian language written in the Arabic script if I go one sentence at a time. Unfortunately, with this podcast, it's not time-stamped. So, ideal scenario is it's time-stamped, so I can hear the natural voice and see the sentence. It is the case for a lot of the content that I get, especially from YouTube, but with this content, it's simply not the case. Another disadvantage is that at LingQ, the text-to-speech service that we use doesn't have very high-quality Farsi or Persian text-to-speech. But it is there. It's not great. It's the worst of any of the languages for whatever reason. So those are the disadvantages. But the advantages are that I deal with this one sentence, which might be 8, 10, 12, 15 words long. And then I click on the words that I don't know, or the words that are still yellow that I'm still trying to learn. I review them using matching pairs, which is the best type of review because it's more forgiving. You see 3 different words, Persian with the corresponding English. You got to match them. If it's wrong, it goes red. Otherwise, it goes blue. You get through them very quickly. And then I'm testing out a new activity that we have where that sentence then is scrambled for me. So now I have to try to put it together again in the right order, which again allows me to focus in on this sentence. So I'm focusing on the sentence when I read it. I'm focusing on the words as I save them, and I see a list of these words that I've saved. I can go through them in other activities, but I prefer the matching pairs because it's easy and fast. And then I try to put this sentence back together again. Now, I do sometimes vary the order. In other words, in order not to disrupt the flow, I'll go through, let's say, one episode, which is, say, 12, 13 minutes long, and I won't do the reassembling of the sentences because that takes longer. So I will go through reading, looking up words, get through the whole thing, and then circle back later on to reassemble the sentences. But the assembling the sentences really gets me into the words and how they're used. But of course, I've also been working around the house these last couple of days. There's been an amateur golf tournament, the Canadian Amateur Golf Tournament at our golf club, so I haven't been able to play any golf. So I have more time to either work around the house or study. And of course, all the time working around the house, I'm listening. So I'm listening to the same material, the Iranian or the revolution. So I'm actually learning about the Islamic Revolution and the different factions and the petty bourgeoisie or the landowners or the labor group or the Muslim extremists or the leftists, and all the different factions and groups and how they participated in or contributed to the revolution of 1979. Part of the confusion, I'm also getting used to the Iranian years. I figured out it's 621 years, less than our Western calendar, so you get used to that. So a certain amount of focus here has enabled me to pick up a number of political terms, get a little more familiar with the years that the Iranians use. The month is still a bit of a stretch for me. And I get this, I feel that this degree of focus and concentration has elevated my Persian in a way that it wouldn't have been possible without this degree of concentration and focus. Now, tomorrow I will have my lesson with my tutor, and we will talk about these events and we'll see how I do. My hope is that my tutor will say, wow, you've improved. Maybe she won't. Maybe I'll be worse. I don't know. But I just thought I would share with you that having talked about variety, that I think it's also useful to focus at times. It can be a focus for 5 days. It can be a focus for 2 weeks. And to stay with one content item, but maybe vary the way you do it. So, I'm in sentence mode. Sometimes I do the, putting the sentence together after each sentence. Sometimes I save it up to do it later on. I listen to it. Another thing I did was I printed them out on paper. And so I read them on paper, which is, again, introducing some variety, because if I read it on paper, I'm now unable to look up the word. Rather than doing sentence by sentence, I'm now doing the whole story. So that's introducing some variety while I remain focused on this bit of, content. I should add as well that Sahra is an outstanding tutor. She doesn't spend a lot of time explaining the language to me. She finds me interesting content. She encourages me. She has just been an unbelievable guide to Iranian culture, food, history, language learning content. And as I learn things of interest to me, I don't really notice the fact that I'm learning the language, although in fact I am learning the language. So I just thought I would share that with you, my experience of the last few days, which I intend to continue until I really feel that I've got a good grasp on this particular series, And I'll leave a link to it in the description box. And it is part and parcel of this whole idea of input-based learning. So I'll leave a couple of videos as well that touch on related subjects, because even though what I say sometimes seems to contradict what I said earlier, in fact, it's all part of more or less the same message, which I try to present in different ways to see if I can stimulate people to have more interest and more confidence in their language learning. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.